You getting the glamorous job and not really being old enough to be in a club. Looking back, it all makes sense. They took a shine to you. I think your shape might have been more advantageous. I've always been a little bit on the large side. Not especially tall, but doughy, like a pastry. And that's what my mum used to say. You look like you're made of pastry. I wish I could roll you out nice and thin. So I should have known that you getting a job in the club and me in a chippy was a sign, but well, things were going so well and they were so nice. I finished work at the chippy and amazingly I have some money to spend. So why not spend it all at the club? Only I couldn't get in, could I? They wouldn't let me in. You could get in, but not I. I'd lie in bed, waiting for you to get back. My body aching. Aching because we were yet to touch. To touch in the way that we had run away to do. I'd lie in bed, aching. And you wouldn't come back. You drank into the night, and when you were back, you spent all your time with the women who lived like men. I'd walk past you asleep on the sofa. Sometimes I thought you might be dead. And I see now it wasn't you who was dead, it was me. I started writing notes for you, just to let you know what I was up to. I think I might have even tried to write how much I missed you, but I think I threw those notes in the bin. I was feeling the wound again. My feelings were running along the edges of the pieces I was missing. Even though we had done what we set out to do, I felt the way I did back in the past. I had a head full of the past and it made me feel like I was hollowed. So I took to waiting outside the club, round the back by the bins. I was looking for a way in. I thought if I could just get in the once, you would make it possible for me to stay. I was hiding in the trash, like the trash that I am. That's when I saw you. You walked out of the exit with another guy. And you sold him something. And he put it in his mouth. And then you put your hands down his pants and gently moved it around for a few minutes. And the man started to murmur. And he started to murmur. And I wanted to scream. But I just sank into the trash. You both went back inside. I stayed there all night. And went back to work the next morning. The smell of grease masked the smell of trash, but I was finished. That night, I spoke to our hosts. I told them that I wanted to work at the club, that I knew what you were up to, and I wanted in on it. They asked me if I was unhappy with the arrangement. How could I be? I've got money from the chippy and a roof over my head. I've been treated better than I could ever remember. I had to have you back. I told them, it's very nice of you putting me up, but I should really be making a contribution. You know, putting something back in for all your incredible kindness. Don't worry about that, they told me. Turns out you made a pretty penny at the club, and all that covered the money as far as they were concerned. But I was adamant. I wanted to be on the inside of things with you. They took me seriously. Have you ever tried it before? That's what they asked me. I told them, my constitution is sound, and I've done lots of things in the past. That means you can trust me. It was all bullshit. The closest thing I've ever been to anything like that was a sherbet dibdab. They must have had their doubts, because they gave me a pill and told me to... take it. I asked for a glass of water. They gave me one. And I took the pill. Then we just sat there for a few minutes. They told me that usually only the really good-looking ones get the best jobs, but we might be able to sort something out for you. I told them that I only wanted to be near you, that I'd do anything to be near you. They asked me how I felt, and I realised that something should be happening to me. Something should be going on, but it wasn't. I felt absolutely normal. But I started talking. I started saying how much I loved them, their kindness, and how much I loved you, your kindness, and how much I loved them, and how I'd do anything for them, and you and them, and how the world makes sense if you could only get into the garden. If you could get back to the garden, then it would all be alright. If you could put the apple back onto the tree, then there couldn't be a fall, could there? But we have to vomit the apple back up because we've eaten it. That's where the trouble began. And they took me to their car. And we drove. For a very long time we drove. And they dropped me off. And they drove away. And everything was so beautiful. The way the gas station glimmered in the radon light. The sweet smell of petrol, like an oasis in a concrete wasteland. The lights from the diner had me in raptures. Your hands were all over me in the way that we had run away for them to be. And all this lasted hours. And then I awoke. It was cold and dark. And the only thing I could hear was the sound of distant traffic. And I realised that we had run away to touch each other. But you never touched me. And all that could ever touch me was this glacial chill swept down from the north. Our home blowing a kiss. And it cut to the bone.
I was down Liverpool Street the other day, having a drink, enjoying the sunshine. You remember the day? You forget the sun. The winter sits in like it never shine. But there was sun, but it was closing out fast. This kid was paying £50 man at a bar, ordering drinks, talking about oysters. I went up to get another beer. He offers to buy me a Jaeger bomb. I said, I don't like them. He looks at me and he says, don't worry, you will. I turned him down once more. He switched, got nasty. Demanded to know what I did, so I told him. Asked me how much I earned, I divulged. Asked me how old I was, again I obliged. I was bagging the back foot, which you could see. Waving a note around in the air, he exclaimed, I earn £280,000 a year, I'm 24, and you can't even drink a Jaeger bomb, you prick. See, I have to say I was a bit disappointed in myself, because I was jealous. As I drank my lager, I had some thoughts. Next to serious money, I'm a pygmy. All this slogging away, all this sweeping and saving. We don't even have children yet. I'm just a total fucking irrelevance to this kid. Money tells you everything about yourself. I realised I'd never be able to get near what he takes home for all I do. Everything I hoped for, that I learned, that I put into my marriage, none of that fucking matters. There was so much confidence in him. I went home, looked at my wife and searched for that feeling. a history, that we struggled together, that our life together amounted to something. It was gone. Fucking gone. So I tried the Agabon, and that was the beginning of the end. You do what you can, don't you, in this life? When the bottom opens up within so many people. Well, the Jaeger boys set up the bomb that blew the bottom out of my world. I was looking down from that point on that fall. Next little episode, see, at this point we're still giving it a go. I was looking after a friend's baby. We weren't consciously trying, the wife and I, just, if it happened, go along with it. So then we were doing a good thing, babysitting. We don't have the trust I was about to throw away. Anyway, baby. So there's me, my wife, and a baby. And she's holding it, and I have to say, the kid looks good at me. She's sort of glowing. She said she wants one. I said, yeah, that's fine. She said, what about the changes? I said, nothing you can do about that except say the same. She passes me the baby and I hold it, seeing the kid's got father. I can see it. I can see her looking at us. And her heart is filling up like a balloon. Suddenly, everything's so fucking easy. I see it. It's like my whole life is just opened up before me. And that's when the kid throws up. A spectacular projectile vomit fountains into my face. I drop the baby, lands on the sofa, thank God, bounces, lands like some sort of weed ball. Puke's running down my face. My wife has let out some high-pitched screech, now the baby in her arms. I leave for the bathroom. Late that night, my wife's looking at me differently across the kitchen table as we eat our microwave meal. I feel my dropping of the baby has provoked some misgivings. This feeling of distrust is opening up that chasm beneath me. I don't know what I should do. Doesn't occur to me to apologise. I sit there, look her in the eyes, and tell her that the meal we're eating is shit. And it tastes like shit. Now I'm growing increasingly fed up of eating shit. She counters with a, when was the last time you took me out something? So I throw the little against the wall and start shouting. I feel justified. This is passion. Arguments are good. Anger, isn't it? Anger is the sign that something's not right with the individual. And something went right with me. I buggered if I knew what it was. So I'm throwing food and screaming. Like a baby. The baby my wife was about to drop, not I knew it then. What did I mean when I said I tried the Agabon? I mean, a kind of cold callousness started to grow within me. I tucked away at my inferiority and it grew. It grew to the point where it controlled me and I used it to control others and I called it superiority. I was wondering if I knew that this was what was happening. Things were getting worse between me and my wife. I discovered I could control it. Little things at first. I went and put the groceries away in the cupboard. What goes left, what goes right, what colour labels can't go next to each other. And then transposing this philosophy to the bedroom. I really excelled. Use your imagination. I'm sure you do. Anyway, so it's summertime, and my wife has done a brilliant job in the garden. She got in a load of perennials. The garden's a riot of blankets, moonbeams, flea bangs, lavender. It's gorgeous. And my wife has this hope that this little garden is going to save her. She's hoping because her sister's coming round and she can show her garden to devastating effect. Her sister doesn't have a domestic tax sheet. She's too busy destroying men in her chosen career. My sister-in-law's a lawyer. She could bite off your balls and spit them in your face. She was always disappointed her sister took on someone as pathetic as myself. So, it's a gorgeous summer's day, but the reason I'm hot and bothered is because the sister's coming round. And as the wife works the Mediterranean meal in the kitchen, I'm in the garden getting buzzed on beer. And by the time my sister arrives, I'm dropped down drunk. but doing a really sterling job and not showing it. I do this by moving really, really slowly and going deaf. And suddenly, I find myself in the garden with her. I completely missed the wife's tour, and now I'm hearing the sister talking to me. I come to this phase of hearing midway through saying she's saying about, I like a man who's in control of himself. And I say something about being king of the castle. And she looks at me and she says, so you know how to dominate my sister? Should you dominate me, you fucking eunuch? I go straight to my heart. I'm about to feel it. I'm about to feel a whole mother load of shame at the shitty way I've been treating my wife. I'm rescued. The reptile in me is awoken. And it plucks the shame and humiliation from my heart and flickers its ancient tongue and transforms these shitty feelings into a primordial need to fight. I'm reaching out to my sister-in-law and grabbing her by her throat. I don't know what I'm saying, but spittle's flying all over her face, and I finished my tirade with a forceful kiss. Just as the wife walks out of the couscous. Late that night, I lie drunk and talk her in our bed, thinking of all the shitty things my sister-in-law must be saying to my absent wife. I know all of which will be true. I decided to get the garden cemented. All that work my wife did would be buried.